The person on the other side of the phone, or answering your email, or dealing with you on social media, they are a person. They have hopes, dreams, aspirations that have nothing to do with your bullshit problem. They are just there trying to do their job. And their job is to try and get you something to make you happy at the end of the day. Okay? So you don't need to be a dick to them, even if they're giving you bad news. They're just doing their job, and you can just be nice to them. Chances are you're going to get something extra if you're nice to them. I know from my perspective, if somebody's not an ass to me, and they just ask kindly, listen, is there anything you can do for me? I'm going to do everything I can in that situation. I'm not always going to do whatever I can, but I'm going to be a little bit more amenable to actually helping you in a way that gets you exactly what you want, maybe then some, if you're not a dick. So if you're easier on your customer service rep, they're going to thank you mentally for it. And maybe with a little bit more help. So there it is. 5 more rules for contacting customer service. I hope you enjoyed. On the other side, we're going to talk about Oprah for president. Missed this last week. So here we go. So was I the only person in the world who, after I heard Oprah's speech at the Golden Globes last week, didn't think that she was definitely running for president? Because the coverage that I saw from both sides seemed to suggest otherwise. So in case you missed it, which, who has cable anymore, so you probably did. Oprah gave a really, really great speech when accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes. It was after a joke from Seth Meyers, the host, saying, how he had written jokes in the President Obama's sort of roast of then private citizen Donald Trump. What heady days those were. And, he made a joke of Oprah, you can never be president. You would be terrible at being president. Everybody had a good laugh. And then Oprah gave this beautiful speech where she talked about a young black woman who had been pretty brutally assaulted in the 1960s. And, what kind of different world we live in now. It's just me, or is it interesting that just a good compassionate speech means a presidential run in these days? So a lot of people on both sides of this argument about whether or not Oprah should run have been pretty vocal, I think is probably the nicest way to put it. And, I'm living in my little left-wing echo chamber here where, Oprah, on the one hand, is a very talented businesswoman. She's very globally thinking. She's compassionate. She's thoughtful. She's kind. She's obviously very smart. And she is, in a lot of ways, everything that Donald Trump purports to be. She's very good at business. She actually did start from the bottom. She is a self-made woman. And she is very, very successful and actually very rich. Then, sort of on the other hand, you've got people pointing out that she has given voice to a lot of really shitty things. Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, anti-vax, The Secret, Tom Cruise jumping on a couch. Nobody really liked that, I guess except for meme makers. Here's the sort of thing about Oprah for president is if she wants to run, great. Honestly, I think there's a lot of people out there. There's a whole lot of people out there, the current president included, who would be terrible presidents of the United States. That would certainly be worse, I think, than Oprah would be. Honestly, I don't think that Oprah actually ever runs. I think that Oprah is much more comfortable being a king or queen maker herself. I think that Oprah, in terms of her best in a political setting, is when she, kind of anointed Barack Obama, and sort of her endorsement of Barack Obama meant a whole lot. I don't know that she'll ever want to run for president. If she does, though, a lot of the problems that people have with her are going to be solved one way or the other. She doesn't have any political experience. She's never run as a candidate for anything. She's not a politician. She hasn't had to give a position on a lot of different things. All of that does come out during the campaign. Now, the question is, and a lot of people are saying, if the Democrats run Oprah Winfrey, aren't they just as bad as the Republicans were running Donald Trump? Honestly, I don't think that they are, because if Oprah Winfrey is a bad candidate, they won't run her. That's just the nuts and bolts of it. And honestly, I think at this point in time, there's no definite front runner in terms of a Democrat. There's no definite leader of the Democratic Party in the United States right now. Let's just have this. Let's have this moment where this woman, who is a woman of color, who is a self-made woman, who pulled herself out of abject poverty and became one of the most successful black businesswomen in the world, made a beautiful speech at the Golden Globes. And she's on the Democrat side. Can we not just enjoy that for what it is for now? If she runs for president down the line, okay, let's start having those conversations then. That's just my opinion on Oprah. We're gonna pivot very, very quickly here. We're going to talk about Hawaii for a second. So we're just going to hear a really quick musical sting, and we're going to move right into that. Just before we get into Hawaii, I did say it was going to be a quick pivot, quick musical sting. But before we get into Hawaii, I did say that I'd talk really quickly about the whole shithole countries thing. President Trump is supposed to have said of Haiti and other primarily black countries, particularly in Africa, why are we allowing people from these shithole countries? And that's not a direct quote. That's just, the gist of it. Here's what I'm going to say is, absolutely we should be outraged by this. Should we be surprised, though? So many people are acting shocked about this, feigning shock about it. Honestly, I think that the Democrats would win more points if they just said, this is the president, guys. This is the person that was elected. This is who is representing us. That isn't good. Let's try and fix that and then move on. I'm not going to say, we should absolutely be outraged. Shocked, though? Appalled, yes. Shocked and appalled, absolutely not. So anyhow, Hawaii. Glad to see that you're still there, Hawaii. I'm really glad that you weren't attacked by a bunch of ballistic missiles. So the story goes is that this was just a false alarm where somebody going off of shift hit the wrong button, and it sends out this alert to television stations, to radio stations, and to cell phones that a ballistic missile attack is imminent. Seek shelter immediately. Here's the thing I love about this, honestly, is that it was apparently, human error. These things happen, and they're going to, delve into why it happened and try and fix it so it doesn't happen again in the future. Absolutely. That all makes sense to me. Here's what doesn't make sense to me. It was a false alarm. It took them 38 minutes to call it off. Wouldn't there be somebody, the shift change happens, the guy hits the wrong button, sends out the alert. Wouldn't there be somebody there with their cell phone just are we being attacked? No. Well, I just got this text alert that says we're being attacked, ballistic missiles, seek shelter. Oh, shit. You know what? Bob must have hit the alert button instead of clocking out again. Classic Bob. Yeah, definitely, man. Classic Bob. So How's your weekend going? Oh, not too bad. I just, like at no point, like 38 minutes where the entirety of that island must have just been freaking out. False alarm in the end, absolutely, and perfectly fine. Like I learned about this after the false alarm was called, but like definitely saw the headline. I was just like, okay, and how bombed is North Korea right now based on this false alarm? Zero bombed? Huh? Who'd have thunk it? Just like how does that take 38 minutes to correct? Oh my. Very, very good. Anyhow, I am still just on a high from this Liverpool win today. Just absolutely on a high. It's a beautiful thing to beat the league leaders. It's a beautiful thing to beat them 4-3, which it should have been 4-1, but we won't get into that. Like I said at the top of the show, what we will get into right now is the close of the show. This show is produced by me with music from Mon Plaisir. You can check them out at loyaltyfreakmusic.com. You can follow the show on facebook.com/The John Dulong Show. Email into the show at johndulong@gmail.com. And you can follow me on social media at Jibberdy, Jiberdy. Make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes or Google Play. And if you could, rate and review, as that helps get more folks listening. Another great way that you can help is to tell a friend about the show, get the word out. And of course, make sure that you tune in every single Monday for the weekly dose of Monday morning nonsense. We beat fucking Manchester City! Grinning. Oh, I'm so happy. So anyhow, I guess that's the end. That's it. Looking forward, next week we're going to hopefully have a guest on the show. Looking forward to that. Hope that you join me next Monday. So remember, for John Dulong, I'm John Dulong, and remember, the definition of irony is crossing the street and getting hit by a Dodge. Thanks. We've got Salah, do 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 do. Oh, money, money, do 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 do. Bobby Firmino, who gives a fuck about Coutinho? Bye.